you are called to be a holy people, a royal priesthood, a separate nation, a people for God's own possession, that you may be called out of darkness into his marvelous light, and you cannot walk in the light by walking in the darkness. It cannot be done. St. Francis of Assisi, St. Dominic, I always return to those two because they were very powerful preachers. They ministered in signs and wonders, and they changed the face of Europe. Dominic and Francis called people back to fidelity to the Lord and to the Scriptures. So, again, we need to have a confidence in the Word of God. We need to have a confidence that Paul knew what he was talking about. Well, most of these great revival movements that I mentioned, and we could mention some others as well, there was a tremendous renaissance among the Carolingian people in northern France, just kind of in the 8th century. So these are not the only ones. But most of them, on some level, really had an involvement of every man, every woman, of the laity. Yes, there were clearly leaders, and they were known as leaders because they led. But everybody got to play. Everybody was part of this. And so one of the things that I see Orbis doing, we're doing it now, I seek to do it everywhere I go, is we want people to understand that if they don't feel called to be a preacher, to be Reverend so-and-so, they can find an expression and be a full-on participant in whatever state they find themselves. So I want people to understand that what we teach and train isn't just for Reverend so-and-so, whoever Reverend so-and-so is. It's for them, whether they're a baker or a barber, whether they're a business executive, whether they're a lawyer, or anything in between. They might be a teacher. There's a lot of roles and jobs in life, and I'm not trying to leave any out. But the point is, you can do this in your own church, and you can be a force for change. Because if you will lean into the things of the Spirit, if you will do the things that Jesus did, if you will take on board what it means to be a disciple and walk that out, then people will be drawn to you, and they will learn from you. And so Paul said to Timothy, the things that you have heard and seen in me, this do, and commit into the hands of faithful men who in turn will be able to teach others. And so the commandment to create disciples, you can say it different ways. That's how Paul said it to Timothy. But that's really what we have to do. And so anybody could be a discipler. Anybody could become a healer who trains other healers, or deliverance minister who trains other deliverance ministers, or a prophet who raises up other prophets. Anybody could do that. I think that's the desire of the Lord. And honestly, it's necessary that we have the right interlinking and infrastructure within these churches to keep them strong and vibrant and healthy. If they are only led from the top by one person, or maybe a very small handful, some sort of an oligarchy within the church, that will of necessity fail. And so we must have this kind of training, this kind of equipping, this kind of call to discipleship, and a people willing to reorder their lives. And sometimes we say to lay down your life and take up the cross, but to reorder your life according to the priorities of Jesus, according to the commands of Jesus, so that there is a full and complete expression of the Christian faith, little Jesuses, if you will. That's why we are called Christians. We are little Christs. And again, that has nothing to do with how you earn your living. It has everything to do with how you live your life. That's what we want to do.